Tain boys band lead them around Croke Park in ceremonial fashion as we take a check on the two teams for this afternoon's final. And we're starting with Cork, and once he was fit again, there was always the likelihood that John Gardner would be back in the Cork half-back line. And so it's proved with Cian O'Connor stepping back down to the subs bench. And by comparison with 12 months ago, Cork have four new starters. Brian Murphy at corner back, Jerry O'Connor in midfield, Kieran Murphy top of the right, and Brian Corcoran has returned after his 3-year exile. Well, so much for Cork. In the semi-final, Kilkenny started and finished with the same 15, so it was always most likely that the selectors wouldn't tamper with a winning formation. Strains and aches there may have been for Michael Kavanagh and DJ Carey, but they're both included. The newcomers from last year's final are Ken Coogan playing in midfield, and young Cha, James Fitzpatrick, but he's better known as Cha Fitzpatrick, listed at right corner forward. Éadán Macsívna from Dublin will take charge of his second All-Ireland Hurling Final. Already it's firing up in there with extra players wanting to join the fray, like John Hoyne coming in to try and join the midfielders, but eventually it gets underway. It's the start of the 114th All-Ireland Hurling Final. Kilkenny won the toss, hurling from left to right in the first half. Early chance here, falling towards Eddie Brennan, coming in, chance of a goal here, and he's put it wide. Early chance for Eddie Brennan that time, a man from whom they are looking for big things this afternoon. That was a really good chance.
It was, I'm not sure if he didn't get in DJ's way. DJ was coming in like a train from behind there. I think maybe he should have taken on that ball.
Well, he scored 5 goals already this season, and he had a useful opportunity there in the very first minute. Donald Cusack pucking it out towards Jerry O'Connor, comes back towards Sean O'Halpine, in toward Tom Kenny. Battle for supremacy in midfield is going to be interesting. Here's Cha Fitzpatrick, 45 metres out from goal, swinging his stick there, trying to get a shot in, but falls as far as Sean O'Halpine once again. Taken down here with some comfort, but then having difficulty getting it away was Ken Coogan. Here's Martin Comerford, this year's captain, once again inside for Cha Fitzpatrick, looking for the opening score, and that's 2 wides by Kilkenny. Well, remember in last year's final it was Cork who were playing in the same way, left to right in the first half, and they had all the wides in the first half. Well, I mentioned that people are going to be watching this game all around the world, and so they are. I mentioned the defence forces in Kosovo and Liberia. They're watching it in a certain hostelry in Philadelphia as well, in Tiernan. Everybody who's watching wherever you are, hope you enjoy it. Here's Tommy Welsh. Breaks down into the centre again. John Hoyne, can he make some advancement here? Back as far as Eddie Brennan, who's come out very deep this time, and that is also sent wide. 3 wides, Michael, and we haven't even played 2 minutes.
Yeah, very unusual for Kilkenny. Eddie Brennan, 2 great chances, and young Fitzpatrick, a great chance to settle into the game. See, DJ and Eddie Brennan seem to be changing around, but everyone else is playing in their normal positions.
Well, they're changing their team around, I think, in order to try and distract Cork and to try and stop Cork hitting out the early puck out. The quick puck out is a tactic which Cork have been using all summer. Brian Murphy there, down as far as Timmy McCarthy. Holding it in towards Brian Corcoran, who's not wearing the usual black helmet this afternoon. Trying to get his fullback in difficulty there. Corcoran getting support here. The support's with Ben O'Connor. 20 metres out, still Ben O'Connor. It's kicked away in the end there by JJ Delaney. Not too far, only as far as Niall McCarthy. And the referee's whistle sounds, and it's going to be a free end for Cork, and a chance for them to take the lead. The chop down is the decision by Éadán Macsívna. Watch it again here. Referee had no doubt indicting Derek Ling. And Niall McCarthy really fired up for the action here. It's going to be Joe Dean to hit it. Some 30 metres out. Breeze into his face because it's swirling from that Hill 16 end. Straight over the bar, first score of the match. Cork go in front.
And Jared Brian Corcoran there shows what he brings to this Cork team. He's a disaster for a fullback. It's impossible to get away from him. He's hooking and blocking and tipping, and he kept the ball in there that time and they won the free, and that's what he brings. He brings great balance to this forward line.
It also helps, I think, Michael, the fact that he played in the backs for so long and knows all the tricks.
He's a great hurling brain. It makes no difference where he is.
Absolutely. Pressure once again here. This is Ronan Curran. He's had a storming season for Cork, and I'm sure it has to be one of the Kilkenny tactics to put the shackles on him. And Kilkenny have a range of options there. The other centre-half forward is Niall McCarthy. Up towards Joe Dean again, getting loose of Michael Kavanagh, troubled by injury during the week. Inside, Tommy Welch taking the steam out of that one. The clearance from some 20 metres out from his own goal, way down towards Henry Shefflin, broken away from Henry, back out to Jerry O'Connor. O'Connor and Tom Kenny operating in midfield for Cork. It's Ling and Coogan for Kilkenny. Stopped over there by Michael Kavanagh, spills loose however. JJ Delaney again. Well, you heard earlier on DJ Carey saying he's a candidate and a strong one for Hurler of the Year for the second year in a row. Here comes the other number 7, it's Sean O'Halpine, and he's held it. It's going to be a free downfield. This is O'Halpine trying to wriggle his way clear of the attentions there of Martin Comerford and also Henry Shefflin. John Gardner to take this free, a study in concentration. Low into the corner this time. It was the tactic against Wexford to give Joe Dean decent ball. It spills loose this time, and the referee says some holding, and it's going to be a free out for Kilkenny. Cork have made the better scoring start, but Kilkenny had the early chances. Well, it was a bit of a tug, I think, on the jersey. That's all I can make of it. James McGarry here, playing in his 25th championship match for the Cats. Big one down towards John Hoyne. Has quite a battle on his hands against Ronan Curran. Broken away there from Curran, but again, the ever-vigilant Sean O'Halpine is anticipating. That's what he's been doing all season. In towards Kieran Murphy, over there against James Ryle. Brian Corcoran is next in, hurling it forward along the ground. Kavanagh winning the race here against Joe Dean. 45 metres out from the Kilkenny goal. Michael Kavanagh hooked, gets it away, out over the sideline, line ball to Kilkenny. Donald O'Grady, the manager of Cork, for the second year in a row, and for the second year he's taken them to the All-Ireland Final. Well, he's intimated to me that this will be the end of his term. He took on the job for 2 years. Brian Cody, of course, 6 years in charge, and already 3 All-Ireland victories. 2 magnificent hurling men. This line ball ready to be taken for Kilkenny here by their midfielder Ken Coogan. Henry Shefflin trying to roll it onto the stick. What a threat he is. Henry trying to come through, storming his way through, and he takes too many steps, and the referee says free out, and Henry doesn't agree. He looked straight at the referee and he said, no way, referee, but watch and count. Yes, he was taking a lot of steps at the end there after he got the ball onto his stick and back to his hand. At this point here, that's where the steps began to be taken. Free out to Cork.
It was a marginal one, Gerald. He was going over anyway, you know, he was running out of space.
Donald O'Cusack has an injury. Straight away the physio is in to attend to him. Well, he's been ever-present since coming in that great season for Cork of 1999. It could be a contact lenses problem. If it is nothing terribly serious, should be able to sort that out. Basically, looking around Croke Park today, it's an ideal day for hurling, and all the portents of doom from the forecasters thankfully never materialised. Let's hope it stays that way until at least 6 o'clock. So just 1 point to show for the opening 8 minutes of action. Kilkenny have had chances, however. Kilkenny also have whatever breeze there is blowing in the first half, blowing in their direction. Dropped that time by Tommy Welch. Ken Coogan is blocked by Ben O'Connor, comes back out to Derek Ling, the man who motors so effectively for Kilkenny at midfield. Timmy McCarthy battles for Cork and runs to Henry Shefflin, trying to bring some order to their play. Slipping on the surface this time, still gets it forward there towards Martin Comerford, his captain. Breaks loose, away by Murphy, out as far as the wing to Gardner. Skipping away from the challenges, John Gardner. Kicking it, he's a good footballer as well. Here's JJ Delaney. Into the corner, bad marking this time. Henry Shefflin looks up, should be a point here for Henry Shefflin, and it is. The teams are level. Bad marking for Cork on that occasion. Henry Shefflin was left loose. It was a pinpoint pass by JJ Delaney. Just look at Henry from the reverse angle. He took his time, steadied himself, and got a great score. He's happy. The puck out this time is taken by Kilkenny. Here's Charles Fitzpatrick following the pass by Henry Shefflin, and Kilkenny lead in the match. Charles Fitzpatrick's first score. So 2 points to 1, the Cats are leading.
Jerry, we've been talking all year about these short puckouts from Cork. You know, they're a disaster. There's no place in hurling. Let it out long and let your men fight for it. They shouldn't be on the field if they can't fight for a 50-50 ball.
On a day when two sides for the first time ever were beaten in the championship and reached the final. They call it in Kilkenny the cat flap. Gardner trying to make headway. Hefty challenge, however, and that's going to be a free. Referee in there to quieten things down. He's had a word with Peter Barry. Notebook out as well as we watch it again in reprise. Just a ticking for Peter Barry. The man he was challenging there was John Gardner. John, who missed the semi-final, his place was taken by Cian O'Connor that day. Ben O'Connor is the man who captains this side by virtue of Newtown Shandrum's victory in the Cork County Championship in 2003. He's already had one great day at Croke Park when they won the All-Ireland Club Final on St Patrick's Day. Looking for another, and he's put this one to the right and wide. That battle, there are so many key battles this afternoon, Michael Dignan. The battle between Ben O'Connor and JJ Delaney, it's a tasty one.
It is, yeah. It's hard to see JJ Delaney being beaten. The best hurler in the country over the last 2 or 3 years, along with Henry Shefflin. And I think he'll get the better of Ben O'Connor there.
And here comes Ken Coogan, settling into his task at midfield well, having missed the opening match of the Leinster Championship. That movement broke down when they ran into a group of Cork defenders who were unyielding. John Gardner whipping it away low down towards Brian Corcoran, who advances away off the forward position, takes the full back with him, space inside. Kieran Murphy trying to make some headway, and Ryle deemed to have pulled his man back. It's a free into Cork. Kilkenny leading by 2 points to 1. Early stages in the All-Ireland final. A ticking for Ryle for his troubles that time. James Ryle, seen as a novice this time last year, but he's shown his strength and a lot of resolution this season following his recall against Galway. That match in Thurles, of course, which we brought you on the Sunday game programme. Joe Dean ready to level things up. Over the bar. 2 shots at the target from frees for Joe Dean. 2 points as well. Well, great to see Hill 16 packed this afternoon. Michael and myself were doing a little piece around about 1 o'clock, and in particular looking at the breeze that comes in from the bay, and it does swirl around over there. You can never really absolutely predict which side it's favouring at any one time. Right now, no question in the linesman's mind about whose ball it is. It's very definitely a Cork ball. The Cork side without Sean Oak's brother Satanta this season, but he came back on Friday last, I believe, and is there watching the match. Not much to choose in terms of possession between the teams, and nothing to choose on the scoreboard. Great cut. The fullback again in difficulty, and runs on for Dean, taking on Kavanagh. Joe Dean, jersey pulled, he goes through, tries to get off the stick, off the crossbar, comes in, and it's Ben O'Connor who puts it into the side netting. Oh dear, oh dear. There was a glorious chance for Cork, just as Kilkenny had a goal chance earlier on. It fell to Joe Dean. Watch this one come off the crossbar. Bang down. Ben O'Connor was coming in after it, and the ball hit the side netting. It's still 2 points apiece. By now, each side could have a goal to its credit. Back with the action. Once again, a very determined and focused Kilkenny side, with Eddie Brennan setting it off there towards John Hoyne. Once again, they try to make some headway, and that is lashed high, and it's over the bar. Great point, and it's Martin Comerford, the captain, who scores, and Kilkenny lead by 3 points to 2.
You're considering everything that's at stake today. 28 All-Irelands each. Kilkenny going for 3 in a row. It's a good, great lively start. Not too much tension out there. And you know, straight away we're into a lovely pattern. 2 great goal chances either end. And Brian Corkin again showing his experience there, letting the ball break into Joe Dean.
Mal McCarthy breaks it down, but there are 3 Kilkenny players there waiting for it. One of them is Peter Barry. They're slipping and sliding in the Cork defence. Martin Comerford was racing after it, but it's Wayne Sherlock who has it. Played a great game last year when he was marking Eddie Brennan. And that ball has gone out of the sideline and it's gone wide. So line ball. Interesting how Kilkenny are shaping up their inside forward line today. Eddie Brennan and Martin Comerford, very much the target players. But John Fitzpatrick is filling in between the half forward line and the full forward line. And there are other dangerous forwards all making tricky runs as well to counter. Broken down by Brian Murphy towards Jerry O'Connor. Murphy is in again there. Jerry taking command of the situation against John Hoyne. Out towards Wayne Sherlock. Oh dear. Too many steps taken and a free in for Kilkenny and an easy scoring chance for them. Should be a 4th point. Eldon Maximna indicating with the rotation of his hands that there were more than the 4 steps taken. Attention required by Brian Murphy as they look pensive in the stand. It was Jerry O'Connor who was offloading this one here to Wayne Sherlock. Too many steps taken by the Black Rock man. And a free in. Running repairs being done to Brian Murphy this time from the Bride Rovers Club in Rathcormac, although he's from a neighbouring village, Bartlemy. Had a very good season, Brian Murphy. It's his 7th championship appearance. This is it again here.
Yeah, Jerry, it's a big feature of the modern game, the standard of tackling. You know, forwards are now expected to do the very same work as defenders. When the other team's defenders have the ball, close them down, and the fitness levels are so high now, it's very, very difficult to get away. And that's where the hand pass is coming more into the game, because players, it's the only way they can create room, is to play the hand pass and to put the man in space and let him clear the ball.
They've got a great deal to choose between the teams so far, but Kilkenny can go 2 points clear at this stage, and indeed they should. It's going to be Henry Shefflin to put this one over. Straight in front of the goal and only 24 metres out. A point from play already. Up and over, hit with confidence. And Kilkenny lead this match by 4 points to 2. Great sense of occasion, and there's a concern about Brian Murphy still limping that time as I was watching off shot towards the left corner forward, left corner back position. Meanwhile, JJ Delaney again. Shologo Halpine getting under this, right in the centre of the field, driving it a mile, but driving it well wide. 3 wides now for Cork. Not something that the inside forwards are going to appreciate too much, but just watch this again here. Beautifully caught, nicely taken under some considerable pressure.
It's early stages, Ger, but Cork half forward line again struggling to win primary possession from the puckouts.
Interesting that with Kilkenny so far, their first 3 shots were wide, and the next 4, and this is the 5th, were all points. Pressure on the keeper, he does well. Donald Cusack outside towards the wing here. Wayne Sherlock linking up here with Jerry O'Connor. Big one down towards Brian Corcoran, struggling, runs on for Kieran Murphy, couldn't quite get a decent connection on it. Half hit it, easy for James McGarry. Under the dropping ball is Tom Kenny, good catch, good layoff towards Niall McCarthy. Kilkenny are in quickly with Peter Barry. There too to help out is Ken Coogan. He's a towering man in midfield, gives a lot of strength and resolution to the midfield play for Kilkenny. And that little pile-up will result in the ball being thrown in by referee Eldon Maximna. He was in charge, of course, when Kilkenny won the first of what they hope will be a 3 in a row. That was Kieran Murphy just a little while ago there. No problems whatsoever for McGarry. Derek Ling going in there against Tom Kenny. Picked up here by DJ Carey. First time we've really seen him in this match, laying it off to John Hoyne. Outside to Martin Comerford, going for the point. Good score!
That's a brilliant score, Gerard.
Great point indeed by the captain, Martin Comerford. Taking that pass outside beautifully and walloping it over. That's 2 points for the day, and Kilkenny lead by 5 points to 2.
Gerard, I haven't seen DJ looking as sharp for a long time. He's after been involved there twice in 2 scores already, 2 quick little hand passes. He knows he hasn't the legs he used to have, so he's using his head now more than ever.
He has changed his game. He's had to change his game over the last number of years. He works very hard around the half-forward line. As we watch Walls from way out hit this one to the left and wide.
Jerry has changed his game, but he's such a great player, he can do that. You know, he can't rely on his speed anymore. He's still lively enough over the first 5 yards, but uses his head all the time. And what about Tommy Walsh and JJ Delaney? They're absolutely dominating there for Kilkenny, and Cork are in big trouble in these puckouts.
Again, they try to vary the puckouts. They get it this time as far as Niall McCarthy, trying to make headway against Peter Barry. Not easy. Back to Gardner it comes. Can they advance and get the ball into their inside forward line? Going long towards Kieran Murphy this time. Ryle touches it down. Inevitably there's support there. Delaney was around. Ryle doesn't need him. Gets it out here towards Peter Barry. There's a push by Niall McCarthy, and it's going to be a free out to Kilkenny. Well, after the early misses, which more or less set the trend from a Kilkenny point of view, they have taken a firm command. But still only 3 points between the teams.
Kilkenny will be a lot happier though, Gerard. They're winning a lot of the key 50-50 battles all over the field.
Ling's ball inside is dropped down. They come after it again with Shefflin. Out there was Brian Murphy. It's Wayne Sherlock in there. And next it's Sean O'Halpine trying to dodge his way around Eddie Brennan. The hand pass outside missed. Ronan Curran was there to help out. They get it away down as far as Timmy McCarthy. He's come way off the left half forward position. Here he is now. Tom Kenny's just ahead of him supporting. Kenny's got it, racing forward, taking on Derek Lane, dragged around. Kenny with the shot, swinging it in, going right. They might keep it in yet, just about do so. JJ Delaney is back there, the left half back, looks over his shoulder, spots where Kieran Murphy was. Good hook. Next the challenge by Ben O'Connor. Cork get it back here. They work it in beautifully with Murphy into the corner. Ben O'Connor once again, right on the end line. The referee sees some tugging, and it's going to be a free in. Referee is very vigilant where that's concerned, indicting the Kilkenny backs for not the first time by any manner of means, and it's going to be a free in for this. Well, it's been 9 minutes since Cork have had a score. That was a great hook just moments ago there by Kieran Murphy from Sarsfield. 2 out of 2 for Joe Dean so far from frees. He's Cork's only scorer. This to put 2 between them. Well, their third point has come in the 22nd minute. Last year in the final, they scored 3 points at up to half-time, and 2 of those had come in injury time. It was 9-3 at the break that time. James McGarry from famed Bennett's Bridge to hit this one. Wind behind him, he gets it away. Stopped here in the centre by Jerry O'Connor. Tommy Walsh nursing it to himself, the UCC student. Stopped by Joe Dean. Timmy McCarthy was available. It's Peter Barry who comes in to take possession. The hand pass, looking for somebody in support. There's a runner there, Derek Ling. Ling coming forward. Trying to do a nice, decent solo run here. Trying to get some space in which to swing the stick. He does enough. He does brilliantly. Great play by Derek Ling, the midfielder. Well, that's a great example of great teamwork by a great team. You saw the foraging of the half-backs and then the release of that ball to Derek Ling, and the result, a great score. 3 men unable to dispossess him. 6-3.
Yeah, Gerard, a lot of the talk about the athleticism of Cork, but Derek Ling showed there's athletes in Kilkenny as well. Donlow Cusack got lucky here, took a quick puck out, went out over the line, and now he's been allowed to retake it, so Cork are lucky there.
Brian Murphy, the left cornerback, is in trouble. I'm not sure he's going to be able to continue. And Cian O'Connor, I think, will be the one they might bring in. Maybe. He was the player who played right half-back last day.
Yeah, Pat Mulcahy's another option, you know, super final last year. So.
Correct, he is. Might not have as much match practice, however, as Cian. Again, the management team are concerned. Donald O'Grady's been out speaking to the linesman. Referee says play away. Cork are still in a muddle what to do with these puckouts. Go short or go long. This time it's a long one, way down beyond the half-forward line. But it's stopped once again by JJ Delaney. What a match he's playing. He never plays a poor game, and Ben O'Connor is having his work cut out to limit the effectiveness of number 7 for Kilkenny. Just look at this again. He's like a man up there plucking apples off a neighbour's apple tree as we go down to Marty Morrissey for an update on injuries. Marty?
Yes, indeed, Chair. Brian Murphy does have a problem, and the Cork management have decided to bring in John Brown from Blackrock. They're also very, very concerned about the dominance of Derek Ling and Ken Coogan in midfield, and they're anticipating a change there as well.
It's going to be a free once the referee has sorted things out.
And Martin Comerford and Dermot O'Sullivan, bit of a set to there.
DJ Carey about to hit this from his inside his own half, inside his own 65-metre line, in fact. This will be some point by DJ if he gets it. Not quite. Most of his scoring nowadays comes from set pieces, as it were, 65s and long-range frees, although he's been known still to chip in with some absolutely glorious scores from play.
Jerry, I don't agree with this now. Donald Cusack is well entitled to take a puck out if he wants to, just because the referee is not ready. It's up to the referee to get back into position. That's twice he's made him take it back and took it out again.
I wonder if that was what, as we watched the number 4 being shown there, Brian Murphy coming off, I wonder if that was what Donald O'Grady was chatting with the referee, Eardon Moxivna, before the game.
I'd imagine so. Cork are looking to up the tempo now, you know, they need to get a couple of scores. But
as you say, there's no law against it. Here's DJ Carey advancing. There are 3 after him, but the dodger is free, 40 metres out. Hand pass into space, nobody there to receive the pass except the Rock, and the Rock is Dermot O'Sullivan from Cloyne in Cork, getting it away there towards the sideline, out of the line again. Line ball to Kilkenny, and all of the pressure right now at this phase of the game, with 25 minutes gone, is on the Cork backs. Here's DJ once again here, sprinting there clear, really stamping his authority on the match. And remember, he's playing today in his 54th championship game. James Ryle put under pressure, needing support. He holds it up, in come the half-back line to mop it up, and inevitably it's Peter Barry to help out. Experienced campaigner there, the man who was keeping tabs on Niall McCarthy this afternoon. But he's using his great experience as well. Did he pick the ball up, and did he pull the man down in all of that? Got away with it.
While Kilkenny are doing all the hurling, they're 3 points up, and there's a very strong wind. They seem to have it in their favour. So if Cork can get through this phase, they're still well in the game.
Oh, Halpine outside here for John Brown to come onto. First touch wasn't good. Little bit ring rusty, John Brown of Blackrock. Over there again is Delaney. He's mastering that situation, and they may have to make a move, Cork, in the half-forward line pretty quickly. That's Jerry O'Connor. Jerry is dragged down, and it's going to be a free for Cork. So it's going to be Ben O'Connor, the captain from Newton Chandram, who will hit this.
I think Kilkenny are going to be happy to give away frees all day. That this put the pressure on Cork to put them over. Don't let them run at them. I'm not saying it's a tactic of theirs, but you know, Jerry O'Connor was stopped there 90 yards from the goals on the sideline. No great danger. It'd be a great free to score.
Well, we still haven't seen a Cork point from play so far after 27 minutes. Here's a free, and that has gone wide. 6-3. Let's go down to Marty once again.
Yes, I just spoke to Brian Murphy in the Cork dressing room, and it's not a hamstring or a groin. He suffers from migraine, and consequently he gets double vision. And Brian Murphy, your heart goes out to him. He's very, very disappointed. He's heartbroken in the dressing room, but it's because of the double vision problem that he had to come off.
Well, that is a sad thing for a young player. He'll be back. Right now it's Sean O'Halpine towards Joe Dean, runs on there towards Brian Corcoran. The challenge then has been met well by the Kilkenny backs. Peter Barry driving it down, picked up here once again by Ken Coogan, swinging it across over there towards Eddie Brennan. Brennan trying to advance on the end line, stopped by Wayne Sherlock, looking to make a better angle for himself. Does so, but doesn't score. Very much a one-man scoring machine on his own, but not linking up terribly well with the others. there was a support player there, and that was
there were several
Fitzpatrick.
Several players coming through, Gerard. It was a feature in the minor match too a few times. You know, players are very individual at times now. Like DJ has shown it there a couple of times. You know, to give on the ball, doesn't matter who scores if you're going to win the match.
That's 6 wides now for Kilkenny. And another long puck out this time, beyond JJ Delaney this time again. He goes back to try and stem the tide. Tommy Walsh coming in to help. Another great wing back for Kilkenny. Dragged down, free to Kilkenny. It's gone quite ragged. Here he is once again, Tommy Walsh. Coming into challenge was Niall McCarthy from Carrick-Tuchel. Because Cork didn't retreat quickly enough, the ball is brought forward an extra 13 metres closer to the Cork goal. So DJ Carey right in the middle of the field right now, a chance of his first score of the day. Went close with the last one, and this one has gone left. It stays Kilkenny 6, Cork 3. Coming up to a half an hour gone.
Really at this stage, sure, Kilkenny should be 8 or 9 points up, you know, and Cork have been beaten all over the field. Their confidence is down, but if they go in at half-time only 3 or 4 points down, they'll have a chance to regroup.
Just a goal chance each presented so far, none availed of, as Timmy McCarthy tries to make some headway. There's a lot of fouling by Kilkenny's backs as Cork tried to make any kind of advances in their own half-forward line. Joe Dean coming out to hit this one. No great particular hurry about Joe. This is Timmy McCarthy just a little while back. And there he was being restrained. Change of plan by Cork. And they've decided that Ben O'Connor will take over the free taking. Once we watch the end of that little piece of action.
Very difficult thing to do, Ger. Ben O'Connor's not having a good game. He hasn't felt the weight of the ball once, and all he's getting is very, very difficult frees. It's very hard to score them when you're not in the game generally. Free taking is a confidence business, and he's not playing well. It's difficult to score these frees.
He's missed 2 so far, Michael, as he hits this one right between the posts and over. That might get his confidence going. And now there are only 2 points between the teams, but all of Cork's scores, their 4 points, have come from frees.
You see Ben O'Connor's gone into the corner now. Kieran Murphy out in the wing. They'll have to do something with JJ Delaney. The first thing I do is don't puck the ball out to him. If you don't puck it to him, he can't get it.
Henry Shefflin has gone into full forward. Martin Comerford has gone out to the number 10 position as Ken Coogan tries to link up with a colleague, but the 2 Cork midfielders are there in unison, and in the end the referee blows his whistle and will for the second time throw the ball in. Quite scrappy in terms of possession. There you go. Tom Kenny helped there by Jerry O'Connor. Niall McCarthy trying to bulldoze his way through, nothing going. Lack of flow and a bit of fluency required, a bit more creativity. John Fitzpatrick across. David O'Sullivan out quickly, first time, way down. Stopped by Derek Ling. Coming to take it is Martin Comerford. Now at right half forward. We're playing in the centre for this particular phase of the game. JJ Delaney can't do anything with it. His man, Kieran Murphy, hitting it forward towards Brian Corcoran. Timmy McCarthy with Brian Corcoran going forward. It's Brian Corcoran. Great roars of approval from the Cork fans as he puts it over the bar. First point from play for Cork comes after 32 minutes. Scored by Brian Corcoran. And now there's just one between the teams. Brian Corcoran, who in 1992 lost an All-Ireland Final to Kilkenny, but was named Hurler of the Year. He won an All-Ireland in 99 and was again named Hurler of the Year. Today he's just looking for the medal. 6-5.
He was man of the match here 12 years ago, Jared. Brilliant score. We have a Cork man down.
It may well be Wayne Sherlock as I look around here just to see everybody else. He's the one I can't see right now. I think it is Sherlock. It is. Dr. Con Murphy coming in there to attend to him. Well, it's tough and it's tight, and nothing is given lightly. It's no classic, there's no great flow, but it's the All-Ireland Final, and the Liam McCarthy Cup is up for grabs. Ronan Curran there against John Hoyne. Referee again wants to throw the ball in, but first, before all of that, he might be having some words. John Hoyne and also Ronan Curran, I think the referee just saying to the two of them, right lads, no more of that, calm it down.
Yeah, Gerald, Wayne Sherlock, he's not that type of player to go down easily, and he's very agitated, so obviously he got some sort of a belt off the ball, but that's part and parcel of these big games. And then John Hoyne and Ronan Curran, two strong men getting involved there as well.
Well, Wayne Sherlock is marking Eddie Brennan right now as we watch the referee issue the cards, one apiece, to Cork's number 6 and to Kilkenny's number 11, John Hoyne.
Kilkenny will not be beaten when it comes to a physical game, no chance.
We're inside the last minute of the first half. James McGarry ready to hit, just a point in it. Again, he targets the right half forward. This time a bit of holding by Cork, and the referee says free in, jersey pulling. And there will be at least 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first 35. Once again, DJ Carey coming out, and it's proving to be one of those days when the free taking might be all important. DJ's leaving it to Henry Shefflin. A change of responsibility.
And maybe a shifting of the guard there, Jerry. You know, DJ takes a long free, Shefflin just come out and said, give me the ball, I'm taking this one. The new is replacing the old.
Well, he's got 2 points so far, one from play, one from a free. They're all important, and this one drops down nicely and drops down over the bar. It was a good decision on Henry's part to come and take that, because there are 2 points between the teams that were into injury time. Kilkenny needed that one, you know, it's their first point in some 12 minutes. Henry Shefflin again here, taking on John Gardner, trying to go by, stop, McCarthy's there as well, and Henry Shefflin takes far too many steps, holds on too long, free down for Cork. All this while Kilkenny have had whatever breeze is going in the first half. Only 2 points in it. Gardner to hit this free. As we know, there will be at least 4 minutes of additional time.
It's no classic, Gerard. Most of the big performances are coming from the Kilkenny players, but they're only 2 points up, and Cork are going to be very happy going into half-time if they can keep it at this.
Gardner dropping it in this time. Brian Corcoran's in around there. It's dropped by JJ Delaney down to Joe Dean, coming way out, spooning it outside to Jerry O'Connor. 6 points in the semi-final and 1 today. Jerry O'Connor coming up from midfield, and it's 7 points to 6. 1 from 1 for Jerry O'Connor, but look at Joe Dean. He had to work really hard. Came well away from his main, not just man. Out for O'Connor, beautifully laid off for the number 9 to come on to, and he looks confident. His first of the day. Referee having words in the middle of the field. Again, he's going to throw the ball in. Not quite sure what happened there. I think it just hit him. Here's John Gardner. Away he comes once more on his left side into space. It's too long, runs beyond everybody. Gardner! Oh dear, that shot by John Gardner was very nearly taken by Joe Dean. Well, it was McGarry coming out. It didn't look the greatest of passes. It was skidding in the turf beyond Joe Dean. Fumbled by James McGarry, and it could so easily have been the opening goal of the game.
And you know, Gerard, I wish Cork could see the light. This running game, the whole lot. Just get the ball and give it into the full forward line. Brian Corcoran is causing havoc in there. He's coming and showing for every ball. If they play the simple game and move it in there fast, they look very dangerous. But this running with the ball, there's no place for it today either.
Yes, it's Noel Hickey who's having a very uneasy time against Brian Corcoran. John Brown misses it this time. Hurley came out, but there was a tap by one of the Kilkenny players, and John Brown winning a free for Cork. Kilkenny still leading.
Well, John Brown has played very little hurling, Jerry, over the last couple of years. He looks rusty enough to me now, and you know, I know he's very experienced, but he doesn't look overly comfortable out there.
Well, it's a curious decision, as you say, Michael, or infer, that he hasn't played a great deal. Such a huge occasion. David O'Sullivan's shot is going left, and it's gone wide. Frustration for Brian Corcoran there. He needs decent ball. The others have got a supply. So about a half a minute to go. of the additional time now. Who will win the McCarthy Cup and become champions for the 29th time? Once again, it's John Brown here. Goes straight into Coogan that time to Jerry O'Sullivan. Cork get away with it, wasn't shoulder to shoulder. And that's gone left and it's gone wide. 1 from 2 for Jerry O'Connor. And 7 wides now for Cork in the first half. Some concerned Kilkenny fans up on the stands here. Great sightlines all around the new Croke Park. Only 1 point in it at the break as Eildon Moshsivna blows the whistle. There were a number of goal chances presented to both teams. The last one to Joe Dean as DJ Carey comes off, having contributed handsomely. But will just a 1 point lead, having played with the wind, be sufficient for Kilkenny to hold on to the title they've had for the last 2 years? They're going for 3 in a row. Cork are going for their first title in 5 years. And as the mist comes down at Croke Park, the half-time score here shows just a point between the teams. And it is the champions of 2003 Kilkenny who lead Cork by 7 points to 6. Eildon Moshsivna is ready. Just waiting for Jerry O'Connor to come back out and join Tom Kenny in the centre of the field. This time it will be Cork who will play from left to right. They'll have the breeze. The bit of mist we had in the first half has eased again, just momentarily at least, as DJ Carey takes command here. It's robbed by Tom Kenny. It spills back here to John Gardner. Gardner hitting it away to his right-hand side. Ryle has lost his stick. He's holding on to Ben O'Connor, who started in the corner. And that time it's JJ Delaney who nips in, flicks the ball away from Ben O'Connor. Line ball to Cork. 7-6 to Kilkenny. Donal O'Grady there. We just saw him momentarily as we watched this in reprise. It was JJ's flick out that resulted in the line ball for Cork. But Donal O'Grady is down there, right-hand side of the picture, issuing instructions to his forwards, trying to get a bit of width going. Well, just looking around, it is raining once again, but not heavily by any means. Heavy mist. Out into the centre it comes to Timmy McCarthy, trying to get some space for Cork. Jerry O'Connor dodging around DJ Carey, in towards Timmy McCarthy again. Cork look menacing here. Niall McCarthy holds on. His explosive shot is good. It's over the bar, and the teams are level for the 3rd time.
It's a good goal chance, Ger. Now maybe a little bit more confidence. He hasn't been in the game much, so he was happy to tip it over the bar, but he was straight through there.
Yes, watching it in reprise, you're right, there was a goal on. He was happy enough to take it, however. Had support inside had he needed it from Brian Corcoran in particular. It's all old hat at this stage. Sean O'Halpine back out there as a free for holding O'Halpine. Free to Cork. Well, frees this afternoon are certainly proving to be very, very important. 78,212, by the way, is the official attendance. Just a little down as expected from last year. That's because of Hill 16. Gardner driving it in towards Brian Corcoran, runs on beyond the maul. Ben O'Connor trying to retrieve it there to his Kieran Murphy in the blue helmet. It's JJ Delaney who has it. His jersey was being pulled, gets it out to the centre to the strongly built Ken Coogan. It's Derek Ling down into the centre towards Hoyne, stopped by Gardner, trying to advance here towards Niall McCarthy, holding on somehow, challenged by Peter Barry. O'Halpine whipping it in towards Dean. Kavanagh getting there first. Michael Kavanagh giving the call, but leaving it there for Tommy Welch. Welch driving it away downfield towards Martin Comerford. Again, it's John Hoyne trying to get possession inside for DJ Carey. Quick injection of pace. Release down. Difficult one there for Eddie Brennan to hold. Right in the corner. Looking for options. Right across, dangerously across, several Cork players missed it. Still an opportunity here for Martin Comerford to turn striking, still keeping it just short, and finally it goes wide. It was a chance. Still 7 points apiece. This is the reverse angle of that. Should have been a point for Martin Comerford. In the end, ended up being nothing. But there was a little touch. In fact, there was something. It's a 65, so obviously one of the Cork defenders touched it on its way out. Well, Henry Shefflin, who was close to it, has come out to take the 65. First 65 of the match as Donald Cusack organises his defence. Can Kilkenny go back in front again here? Hits it well, hits it nicely, beautifully delivered by Henry Shefflin. That's a fourth for the day. 4 shots at the target as well. Well, he went and drove through the ball there brilliantly. Lovely rhythm in the shot. Mention of rhythm, here comes Jerry O'Connor towards his brother Ben. The running game, they try to effect it. Will it drop inside? Not quite. Well, that's what Cork fans have been anticipating this afternoon. It's not the natural Cork game, the running game out of the middle of the field, but this is where Jerry O'Connor played it for his twin brother Ben, and he should have finished better than that.
Yeah, John, I just get the impression here, if one team could impose themselves for even 10 minutes, play a nice bit of simple hurling without even being spectacular, they could walk away with this game. Both teams are very, very jittery considering so long into the game.
Niall McCarthy checking his stride, inside for Dean. Kavanagh's in behind him, always breathing down his neck. Peter Barry with a simple hand pass out to John Hoy. Way down again, difficult for John Fitzpatrick to contain. John Brown's around over there. Wayne Sherlock, the number 2. Taken up by Wayne. He drives it 60, 70 metres way downfield. Ken Coogan's back there. Back around in his own right corner back position. Quick release into the centre, not a good ball. A giveaway to Cork. Kieran Murphy trying to take it up. Timmy McCarthy's trying to roll it onto his stick as well. Now Joe Dean is next, taking on Michael Kavanagh. Still Joe Dean. Now McCarthy also, it's a right scramble. It almost typifies the match. Joe Dean finally bringing some order to it all, striking it high, and that has gone to the left and it has gone wide. A lot of huffing and puffing, no great direction with the final effort, and a lack of flow in what is a disappointing All-Ireland final. Close, but not quite good enough. And it just come off the post. And this Joe's reaction. Broken down by Henry Shefflin in the half-forward line. Well anticipated by Cork and Ronan Curran. Out it comes towards Jerry O'Connor. He was a sub who came on last year to play a part. Wayne Sherlock, and he is given the free, and it's Derek Ling who is very, very annoyed with that. The manager's pacing up and down. Brian Cody summoning more effort, wanting more life from his charges. That last little bit of play again. It was a free whistled against Derek Ling. Cork have an injured player. Brian Cody is really fired up, trying to get his team going. You've seen that sense of animation from him before, in particular in the game in the qualifiers against Galway. A match they simply had to win.
And this is the way Kilkenny have been hurling all this year, unusually for them. They've been not scoring that much and winning tight games all year, and they're just keeping their nose in front again today.
Who can take command of the situation? Gardner knocking it in. Breaks loose again. Nice play, JJ Delaney inevitably. What a match he's playing and what a season he's had. Jerry O'Connor responding. Should go straight at Michael Kavanagh and does. Quick look around to see what's on. Pumping it along, way down towards Martin Comerford. Breaks loose to the half-backs and to Sean O'Halpine. O'Halpine on his right-hand side. Huge one in, beyond the full forward, trying to keep it in. Brian Corcoran struggling, ending up in the netting there. And it's going to be a puck out to Kilkenny. The kind of ball he's getting inside is not good, and that's 10 wides now by Cork. They could be throwing it away, but they're still only a point behind. Neither side playing particularly well. No great distinction or style in the game.
Very lackluster, Jared. It's kind of like a training session or something, you know. There's no great passion even out there. You'd wonder, you know, neither team really wants to win the game, or they're afraid of losing. What's going on?
John Gardner advancing here with some purpose. 45 metres out. The little shot as far as Brian Corcoran, trying to take it up, trying to get around a couple of defenders. He has Murphy there to help him out, and Kieran Murphy drives it over the bar. His first point of the match. Level for the fourth time. Cork 8, Kilkenny 8, and it's Kieran Murphy who scores. That's his fourth point in this year's championship.
And Gerald, Cork are lucky there. John Gardner caught the ball 3 times that time coming down the field on the solo run. The referee missed it, and it results in a score. Little thing like that can turn a game like an All-Ireland Final.
Absolutely. James McGarry with the puck out.
And James Ryle now gone in full-back on Brian Corcoran. Just when has Noel Hickey been moved out of full-back over the last 5 years? Probably never. It just shows you the impact Brian Corcoran's having in this game.
Well, Noel Hickey had some problems in the Wexford match as well, and you remember what happened then as Derek Ling from way out the field drives it along, but drives it wide. Kilkenny this year, it seems to me, are just about edging out the opposition in all of their matches bar one. Will they do it again? Their fans would like to think so. Is the 3 in a row on? From the reverse angle, it's still 8 points apiece. The referee going down out of shot to have a word with Diarmuid O'Sullivan. Well, no card issued. Just 2 yellow cards from our notes so far in the match for John Hoyne and Ronan Kern from the same incident in the first half. The puck out this time, straight down the centre, but it's won by a very alert Tommy Walsh. John Hoyne trying to drive it, trying to do his job on the 40, helped out by Walsh here. To the corner this time, towards Eddie Brennan. Drinking this way and that, back to Joe Fitzpatrick, ducking around, linking up with John Hoyne. Good Macy run by Hoyne, drag back. Free into Kilkenny. No great defensive effort that time on the part of John Gardner. But that's the referee is going to isolate him.
Sorry, George, that's the thing about the game. Both backlines are well on top, but the forwards are creating loads and loads of chances. Like, actually, it's a long time since I saw forwards having so many easy chances, but they're not taking them, and they're hitting bad wides. And Joe Fitzpatrick there should have tapped that over the bar, and he hadn't the confidence, just passed it on again to John Hoyne there, you know. So, just 10 minutes good hurling from one team is going to take them out of sight here.
Well, there was an awful lot of hyper before the game, as you expect with finals. The teams haven't been able to live up to the billing. John Gardner got a yellow card for that, and now Henry Shefflin, who's got 4 points so far, ready to put Kilkenny back in front again. He does. 4 of his 5 points have come from frees. One of the magnificent 65. This was the incident a little while ago, and that was where the referee Diarmuid O'Sullivan noted the foul on Martin Comerford, but he didn't get a card for it. I'm sure he was ticked. Niall McCarthy wins this puck out well, does really well from that, and the shot is a brilliant one by McCarthy, and that's over the bar, and that's 2 points for Niall McCarthy, and it's Cork 9, Kilkenny 9. There hasn't been a draw in the All-Ireland Hurling Final for 45 years. Last time around it was Kilkenny as well. Then it was against Waterford. 1959 was the year. There's a long way to go here, however.
Jerry, you'll never see many better points than that in an All-Ireland Final from a player who gets an awful lot of stick. Just shows you the way his hurling has improved and the confidence he has in himself.
Martin Comerford. Well, it would have been a great point from near the sideline. Couldn't quite manage it. He's got 2 points for the day so far. Captain by virtue of O'Loughlin Gale's victory last year in Kilkenny, but that was Kilkenny's 9th wide. The puck out this time again towards Niall McCarthy, who's breaking away to the left-hand side of the half-forward line to try and gather. Ball was touched on the ground. Referee says play on. They try to do so, and it's going to be a free to Cork. Might be worth taking a look at all of that again here. Peter Barry going across for it. Just watch what happened next. Yes, there was a hand put on the ball. Niall McCarthy was in there, so too was Peter Barry. Peter Barry, the one who's pulled up, however. Just 1 from 3 from free so far for Ben O'Connor, so not the greatest of success rates for him. The rain, the weather forecaster here telling you, has eased again. The wind, it's pretty strong still. It's supporting Cork, supporting Ben O'Connor right now. And that has gone to the right, and it isn't his day so far. But will he collect the cup? That's what it's all about. 9-all, very tense. More tension than class, however, in this particular final. James McGarry pucking it away down. John Hoyne trying to win it, but it's Ronan Curran once again. Great centre-half back play. And it's missed completely this time by Noel Hickey, letting in the corner forward, Kieran Murphy, and that's another. It might turn the game around, early stages yet, but Cork have taken the lead at 10 points to 9. And Noel Hickey, who was out marking Murphy, slipped in the ground, missed it completely. Murphy was onto it in a flash, and it's over the bar. Nearly 50 minutes are gone.
Cork have got a few great scores from play now. Niall McCarthy, Kieran Murphy with 2, and they're beginning to impose themselves now in the game.
Cork lead for the first time since the 9th minute of the match. In the restructuring for Kilkenny, by the way, Ryle has gone to full back, taking on Brian Corcoran. Mentioned of full backs. Diarmaid O'Sullivan won that. Got it out as far as Jerry O'Connor. Now listen to the fans. It's beginning to get interesting and beginning to get exciting. The 2 Newton Chandran men in full flow here. Ben O'Connor checking his stride. Back towards Timmy McCarthy. There's a point on, and he's put it wide. Still Cork 10, Kilkenny 9. Never mind the quality, feel the you-know-what. That was a really good chance there. The 2 O'Connor brothers, Ben and Jerry, had combined. It should have been a point for Timmy McCarthy, but he's still scoreless. The only one of the forwards who hasn't scored so far in this match. For Cork, that is. Meanwhile, Kilkenny coming again, having a lot of difficulty. Ken Coogan there, surrounded by Cork players, and for the 3rd time, I think it is, if not the 4th, the referee is going to throw the ball in. Cameramen always pick out model-like figures in the crowd somehow. An art form. Defending valiantly back there is another artist, Diarmaid O'Sullivan. Now it's O'Halpine, shouldered out over the sideline, line ball. Derek Ling doing well. What a battling game performer both men are. Line ball to Kilkenny. Following this, Ling ushered the number 7 out over the line. Kilkenny goes short. It's back towards Derek Ling again. Can't take your eye off this for a moment now, as it really begins to hot up. The issue in doubt. Too many steps were taken by Derek Ling. Once again, the referee incurring the wrath of the Emeralds player. Emeralds from Urlingford, just over the boundary there with Tipperary, but very firmly part of Kilkenny.
Jerry, talk about turning points. I'd see that as a turning point in this game. Cork, their dander is up now. The spaces begin to open up out in the field now. Players are getting a bit tired, and Cork's running game is now beginning to come into practice. And you know, if they get the next score or 2, they could go ahead and pull away.
O'Sullivan walloping it way down towards Corcoran. New man to mark him, and it's taken there with some difficulty, and that's going to be a free out for a Jerfer. Arm pulling. Peter Barry doing well. Just look at the close-up action here. All eyes on the ball, and plucking it out of the air was Peter Barry. Magnificent play. So free to Kilkenny, just outside their own 20-metre line. James McGarry to play it, playing in his 5th All-Ireland Final. And note that DJ, by the way, has gone into full forward. He's taking on Diarmaid O'Sullivan. It spills on beyond them all, in towards Henry Shefflin, trying to turn his man, who's Wayne Sherlock, back towards Eddie Brennan on the corner. Tricky angle, too tricky for Eddie, and that has gone wide. Eddie Brennan now playing right half forward, and Eddie Brennan hasn't scored. DJ Carey hasn't scored, and Timmy McCarthy, as I mentioned earlier for Cork, also hasn't scored. In fact, Brennan is 0 from 4. 4 shots at the target, but no joy. 10-9 to Cork. Midway now through the second half. The puckouts are better this time. Tom Kenny picking it up, running up the Kilkenny defence, laying it off to his centre half forward, Niall McCarthy turning, whipping it in high and over, and Cork lead by 2 points. 3 from 3 for Niall McCarthy.
It shows you how things can turn around in a year. Jerry, remember last year he hit a few bad wides. 3 chances today, 3 great scores.
Well, just looking at the scoring chances, it's 10 scoring chances to 5 that Cork have had in the second half so far. Twice as many chances created by the team from the south. Batted down by Jerry O'Sullivan this time. Now the question's been asked of the defending champions. Away by Noel Hickey, now playing at left corner back. Securely held by Donal O'Cusack. He's got players in support. John Gardner's available. Back to Ronan Curran, his centre half back. Delivered long. Too long. Over the sideline. Line ball to Kilkenny. 2 between them.
Gerard, just one little observation. To me, Henry Shefflin is the best centre forward that I've ever seen in my time, and he's playing corner forward. Kilkenny have taken this option this year, take him off the centre backs who are the best players. In my view, if he's as good a centre forward as we all know he is, he should be out there taking responsibility and leading the attack from there.
Well, he certainly is the leading scorer by a mile, not just in this final, but in the championship. Again, it's Donal O'Cusack. Good clearance. Way down, JJ Delaney is under it, misses it this time. It breaks loose for Kieran Murphy, advancing inside. Noel Hickey is after him. Stopped 45 metres out, it's a free to Cork. And Cork are really revved up now. Look at the contrast, the faces in the crowd. The Kilkenny supporters looking a little bit glum, but there's a lot of time yet left to go. 15 minutes still to play in the 116th All-Ireland Hurling Final. Free to Cork.
Gerard, how many times have we seen this before where the players that you don't expect, Kieran Murphy, Niall McCarthy, 5 points from play between them, you know, unsung heroes on other days, but really coming to the fore end. It happens so often in Ireland finals.
It's the second point for Ben O'Connor, because you might have been surprised at the choice of Ben, who had missed frees earlier on, whereas Dean had a much better record. But this time the captain took the responsibility. He had to. And Cork lead by 3 points. But wherever you're watching it in the world, I hope you're enjoying it. It's suddenly sparked into life. Now we look for a Kilkenny response. DJ has no stick. Great hand pass inside. Real opportunity. Henry Shefflin stopped on the line. Scrambled there by Donal O'Cusack.
What a save.
It was a great goal chance and a great save, as you say. Oh, what an opportunity for Kilkenny to have tied it up. Cork break again. Niall McCarthy scrambling away here. Getting away. Lobbing it into Joe Dean. There's a slip inside by Kavanagh, regains his composure, and he goes swinging around the cornerback. Now the fullback, James Ryle.
Judging by the way the ref ran in there, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for that.
Let's watch it again here. That last effort save there on the line by Donal O'Cusack. Meanwhile, all eyes are on James Ryle. He's getting a talking to from the referee for stopping Joe Dean, and he's got a yellow card. 4 yellow cards issued by the referee, 2 per team.
Well, Gerard, we're getting a bit of excitement and a bit of hurling now. We saw everything there. DJ Kerry, what a hand pass, 40-yard hand pass going the wrong way. Brilliant shot by Shefflin, brilliant save, and then ball straight up the field. Niall McCarthy again, who's absolutely outstanding, on his way to man of the match if Cork win this game.
Well, Joe Dean has had a chance to dry the handle of the helmet, or handle of the stick rather. Dry the helmet as well, but the handle of the stick, they got a towel out to him quickly, just to make absolutely sure they're now taking no chances. And right now, Cork are in the driving seat of this final, leading by 4 points. 4 from 4 for Joe Dean. But look at the save once again just a moment ago here from Henry Shefflin. A really good stop by Donal O'Cusack. That might well turn the game in Cork's direction, but there's a long way to go. Nobody's going to be counting anything just yet. In the last game, the minor match, which was a real classic between Kilkenny and Galway, you know, Galway thought they had it, but Kilkenny came back strongly to draw that day, or this afternoon, I should say. And it's going to be a free for Kilkenny. Just watch this again, the stumbling figure here of Peter Barry, chased and harried the whole time by Niall McCarthy. Player down injured over there is John Gardner.
Well, he actually hit Martin Comfort a slap into the face there, but it wasn't anything too serious, but he went down himself on his head just to protect him. He'd be lucky to avoid a booking for that.
Well, the referee just trying to keep the calm and make sure that the game continues in a harmonious fashion. He's now going to speak to one of the officials. The umpire is also calling the referee. So let's see what the umpire saw. There's Don McSeevena from the St. Jude's Club. His own umpires. And what do they see regarding John Gardner? He's on a yellow card already, remember. So I think the referee has just indicated to him, take it easy, John. Nice and handy. You know what will happen otherwise.
And he's very lucky not to be on the line.
Still 15 against 15, and Henry Shefflin directs this one wide to the right. Very wide indeed. Not a good effort by Henry, but still only 4 points in it. Many people see it as a rematch from last year. Others see it as part of a sequence that involved 1999 as well. One victory for Cork, one victory for Kilkenny, as it were. Where the counties are concerned, 28 victories each. Who will it be? Look at the scoring chances Kilkenny have failed to take. Not their afternoon so far, but they're capable of coming good in the next 10 minutes. That's what their fans will be hoping. Driven down by Peter Barry. Ronan Curran, the other centre half back, the Cork man, in a scramble there with Martin Comerford, and again the referee is going to throw the ball in. It's becoming a growth industry.
Shefflin's at centre forward now. We were just talking about it a few minutes ago. That's the place for him.
Cork have it once again. Again, it's Wayne Sherlock. Well, he's away up from the corner-back position. Now at right half forward, dispossessed by DJ Carey, and the counter-attack is foiled because of a trip. And the man who had it was Peter Barry. That was great play. Watch DJ Carey here, just dispossessing. Wonderful skill by DJ to foil Wayne Sherlock. The counter-attack by Kilkenny. Diarmuid O'Sullivan. The Rock, hand passing it out to John Gardner. 3 Kilkenny men were near him. Gets it away towards Kieran Murphy. Ryan booting it away. Just trying to keep it away from the dangerous Cork forwards. Ben O'Connor near the sideline. Gets it to Niall McCarthy. Trying to get away from James Ryle again. Loose marking this time. It's across towards Joe Dean. Kavanagh was slow to close him down, then he pulls him back, and this is a real scoring chance for Cork, and Michael Kavanagh is the first to appreciate that, and the young fans, because right now Cork can take a 5-point lead. A ticking for Michael Kavanagh there, held back, but his first burst, he may have stumbled slightly when he began his sprint to try and cover Joe Dean, but he was too far off him. McGarry calling out the shots and instructions to the colleagues. Should be another one for Joe Dean. 4 so far. They're praying and hoping. Low trajectory, but it's over the bar. It's a 5th point for Dean. And Cork lead in the All-Ireland Final of 2004 by 14 points to 9. John Fitzpatrick is being replaced by Conor Phelan from Clara. Kilkenny have to ring the changes. They've been winning close matches without playing particularly impressive this year. Not the same style or fluency of before. They need a big finish here.
Yeah, Gerard, the big difference in this half is the Cork half forward line generally, especially Niall McCarthy, but also Ben O'Connor and Timmy McCarthy. They're winning more ball from the puck out, and that's what any day Cork play well is when they can win some possession. They're all the plenty of hurlers all over the field.
There's about 7 minutes left in the final as Tom Kenny advances up towards Brian Corcoran. Got a great point in the first half. Has a chance again. Trying to make an angle for himself. Needs support. Gets it there. Jerry O'Connor walloping it high into the crowd. It goes wide. It's the 13th wide of the match for Cork, but they still lead by 14 points to 9. Well, that was breaking a sequence of scoring chances for Cork. Their first miss, really, that time in 5 chances. Kilkenny haven't scored for quite a while. They need something. Ken Coogan driving it to the right. He's driven it wide, and it's not looking so good for them. They need scores quickly. And Brian Cody appreciating that more than anybody. What changes can he make? And Donald O'Grady, who'd be in his shoes right now. I know all the experts will have all kinds of views on this in the papers tomorrow, but those with PhDs in hindsight and doctorates in retrospection, well, they're the ones who are having the problem right now. It's all very well, but they have to make the decisions. Now is the hour for the two coaches and their players. A long season, the climax approaching. Dean, stopped by Kavanagh, held off. In comes Timmy McCarthy. Nice play by Kavanagh. He conceded a point to Dean a little while ago through the free. Not a good kick away. Stopped by Tom Kenny in the middle, battling in the centre with Jerry O'Connor. Brian Corcoran's there as well, spooned out. Comes out into the centre. Helped there by John Gardner. Played away here towards Ben O'Connor, Cork's captain. Will he be lifting the Liam McCarthy Cup? 3 after him. Still 3 players. They try to hook him, stop him. Anyway will do. They get possession here with Peter Barry. Out towards James Ryle. 64 minutes are gone. It's still 14 points to 9. John Hoyne trying to get the ball downfield. Closed down by the Cork player. Great pressing by the Cork backs and midfielders. Kenny's down on the ground. And there could be a booking here now for one of the Kilkenny players. Real tension on the faces of the fans. John Hoyne is the one who's in trouble here. Watch this again in reprise. Hoyne was guilty of the foul there, and the player he made contact with down on the ground, Tom Kenny. It's a yellow card for John Hoyne. Or correction, it can't be a yellow card for John Hoyne, because I'm looking down here. The referee gave him a yellow card in the first half, so this time the referee has taken a decision, no yellow card, he's going to leave him stay on the field. But there's been consistency, because it could have happened to John Gardner earlier on.
It could, and there wasn't an awful lot in it, you know, he would have been very harshly sent off there.
Yeah. Ben O'Connor about to hit this. Well, this will put 6 points between the teams and only 5 minutes to play, and your money would have to be on Cork. It is. Ben O'Connor with 3 points. The Rebel fans are already celebrating, but it might be a bit previous. It's a long, long time since Kilkenny has scored in this game. Their last score was in the 47th minute. And here we are, 19 minutes later. This black, barren spell in the second half could be their ruin. Tommy Walsh trying to do something about it. Ken Coogan feeding it down. Kilkenny needing a goal. No better team to get it if they can. Stopped by Diarmuid O'Sullivan. Last year it was bitter disappointment for Cork. This time Kilkenny are the ones who are putting in the late challenge. Henry Shefflin stumbling, oh, like a player on ice over there. Whatever they say about the surface, he's struggling. Stars on ice it may be, but he couldn't keep his footing there when he had a really good scoring chance. Watch again. Went all over the place. Dreadful.
Yeah, Jared, any drop of rain on the pitch at all, we've talked about it before, it makes it very difficult. Donald Cusack again taking a short hand pass back from Diarmuid O'Sullivan. Cork are complicating things. They're 6 points up, just want to do the simple things well and finish out the game.
Brennan right across the face of goal, stopped by Diarmuid O'Sullivan. He drives it away down towards Joe Dean territory at top of the left. He comes way off his man out to the 65-metre line. The simple pass inside for Kenny. Remember the goalie going against Wexford? It opens up for him. There's a point for the taking, and he takes it. Tom Kenny from Grenagh with his first point of the match. And the 2 midfielders for Cork have scored, Kenny and Jerry O'Connor. In Cork they call him the Tom and Jerry show. And right now it's looking good for the Rebels, who lead with 3 minutes to go by 16 points to 9. Kilkenny, is there a comeback? It hasn't looked likely for some time, but that's a misunderstanding at the back there. Kept in there by the substitute, who was Conor Phelan. A couple of moments of indecision there by the Cork backs. Against a more focused Kilkenny, more sharper Kilkenny team than the side we're watching today, they would have been punished.
Yeah, they could have been, but Diarmuid O'Sullivan, I think, has been a big, big plus for Cork this year. He's just doing the simple things. Watch the high balls. He's just batting them out. He's dominating the square, and he's not trying to be the hard man he was trying to be for the last few years. He's just doing his job, and he's a big plus to Cork.
Here comes John Hoyne running in there to John Brown. Referee will give the free out. Not attempting to play the ball away. He will argue he hadn't any opportunity. 1.5 minutes left. Sean Dowling is coming into the match for Kilkenny, number 17, in place of Ken Coogan. Can he rescue the game? But he knows full well Kilkenny need a couple of goals quickly. Will Donal O'Cusack from Cloyne, the club of Christy Ring, will he be denied as Coogan goes off disappointed? But they haven't been up for it as well as they might today, Kilkenny. Two sides who struggled for a long time to get their game going, and finally, as you said, Michael, in your analysis, once one of the teams made a break, it's been Cork. They have been allowed an opportunity to seize the initiative.
Absolutely, Ger. All it took was 10 minutes, because the room has been there. The hurling hasn't been that tight or that good, and just whatever team got on top is always going to win it.
Comerford lobbing it in towards Henry Shefflin. Back there is John Gardner. Head down, the 21-year-old to the wings, but it's there for Kilkenny to take, and Eddie Brennan fumbling. First touch wasn't great. Ben O'Connor struggling as well. Comes back to Henry Shefflin, advancing with purpose once again. Always a menacing figure. Nice ball inside here towards Martin Comerford. Half blocked down by Shola Halpine. Still everybody racing in after it, and it's going to be a 65. Only seconds remaining of the 70, but there's 6 points between the teams, and there's going to be 1 added minute to be played. Watch as this ball trickled off the stick. Well, it didn't trickle, it was hit out by Diarmuid O'Sullivan, and a 65 once again for Kilkenny. Eddie Brennan is taking it, not DJ. He'll have to lob it in. They've got to get a goal here, and there's only a minute left. 6 between them. It's a tall order. Can they go for it? Diarmuid O'Sullivan comes out, the mighty figure that he is, gets it away. They force it out. They run it away from goal. Wayne Sherlock there, upended, out over the line. Line ball to Kilkenny. About 25-30 seconds still to play. It looks like Cork are going to win the All-Ireland and win it for the 29th time. John Hoyne about to whip it into the centre. Straight at Tom Kenny, who got that last point for Cork. Only 2 players forward for Cork at this stage, but it scarcely matters. James Royal trying to pick it up. Brian Corcoran, the man who came back from exile. He was out for 3 years, but he's come back and looks like he's about to win another All-Ireland medal. He's the hero! Brian Corcoran has put over his 2nd point.
Is he glad he came back now, Ger?
It's all over, and Cork are the champions. The All-Ireland Final of 2004 comes to an end, and it's won by Cork. They've won it by 8 points. Some performance in the second half when they really produced the hurling. They finished in some style. Kilkenny were flat, but then they've been flat at times throughout the season. But there's no doubting it. Cork were bitterly disappointed last year to have lost the opportunity to take the crown. This year, they wanted to make amends. They've done so, and the final score in the All-Ireland Final at Croke Park is Cork, 17 points, Kilkenny, 9. In the presence of thousands upon thousands of Cork followers, Ben O'Connor from Newtown Chandram in North Cork lifts the Liam McCarthy Cup.